Thanks, Ray. Let's talk about some of the tonal characteristics of this instrument. What is it you like about it? What are the certain qualities that you can sort of pin down and describe?
The best way I've come to describe this is an old world sound. In the 70s, guitars got bigger and they got brighter and they got louder. But this guitar has a clarity of tone and just a wonderful sustain. The notes will ring and hang in the air. For guitarists that play an instrument that, the note decays so quickly, it's just wonderful to have one where you can play at a slower tempo and let those notes still ring in the room. This particular guitar, too, a 57 Fleta, has 7 fan struts instead of the later 9.
Fan struts we're talking about.
Right, underneath,
They carry the vibration out to make the whole top, which is the sounding board of the guitar, vibrate sympathetically with whatever pitch you're making. So just so people know what we're talking about.
This gives the bass a very different character than later Fletas. It's a much more Spanish sounding bass, a much more warm kind of resonant sounding bass than the later Fletas.
One thing I've noticed about this guitar too is the beautiful balance sort of throughout the range. There are no, from what I could hear, there are no hot spots sort of where a note will lurch out at the ear. Everything is just nice and even, kind of like a singer who doesn't really change register as the pitches go up and down. It has that nice, clear, consistent quality. And does some of that have to do with just a spruce top on a guitar? You see this instrument right here is a spruce instrument, and let's get out another one. Let's say my guitar. This is a red cedar top on this guitar. So are there sort of across the board or general rule of thumb characteristics that would separate a cedar top guitar from a spruce top like that one?
Cedar top guitars tend to be darker sounding guitars. They tend to be louder guitars. One of the reasons they started using cedar, besides a shortage of high quality spruce, was the fact that the instruments were louder and could project in the larger concert halls that Segovia and other guitarists were starting to play in the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah. Orchestra Hall, Chicago, opera houses.
Right, and playing more concerti with orchestra.
So you want to cut through. It's kind of a brilliant, aggressive sort of sound. That, to me, has more intimacy to it. It's, this is kind of like, how would we put it? This is sort of like the big Verdi soprano, and that's more like bel canto to my ear. That's one of the ways that I hear.
It certainly has more volume. It is a bigger, more robust sound.
Well, let's have you play. You also have a spruce cedar top guitar over here, the Daniel Friederich. So I'll just take this off your hands for a moment.
This one, as you said, is from 1975. One of the things that's very different from this guitar than the 57 is it has actually double sides, 2 pieces of wood laminated together, which put more pressure on the top and make it vibrate more intensely and make a larger, more vibrant sound.
Well, I think, at least here in the room with you, you can certainly hear a difference, much more focused,
Bigger bass.
more pointed,
Certainly.
yeah, bigger bass, more
Right.
pointed kind of sound. This is more, to my ear, this Fleta, more refined, more elegant, more intimate, and a very different character between those two.
Neither is better. They both are unique and wonderful in their own way. This, to me, the 57th Fleta is for me. It's an intimate instrument for a chamber recital like this. In the conservatory's, 120-person recital hall.
Mm-hmm. Now, about this recital, it's coming up August 5. Mm-hmm. And what time will it be?
That's a Sunday, and it's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Are we selling tickets to this, or are we letting in people free?
The recital has been underwritten by my students to, I guess, pay some kind of homage to me for my 30 years of teaching.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
30 years, that's a
tickets are
nice
free,
run.
but you need to call the conservatory, 276-5760, to
give
make
them
a
that
reservation.
Let's give them that number again. Look right into the camera and give them that number, just like on commercials.
276-5760, the Conservatory of Music.
3 p.m. on
August 5th.
which is Sunday. Thanks a lot, Ray.
Well, thank you, Tom.
It's been great sitting around talking about guitars and listening to these fabulous instruments. And one last note, an instrument like this would be worth about what?
They're all listed as Inquire. That's how much they're really worth.
Well, I did find a couple online where they had list prices and was over $30,000. So these things are really quite precious instruments, not up there in the stratosphere with violins, but they're beautiful things. They're, in addition to being just great instruments to make wonderful music, they're just beautiful objects, and they are like little sculptures as far as I'm concerned. So thanks again for sharing this fabulous instrument and that beautiful Friedrich with us too.
Thanks a lot, Tom.